The next part of this book is about making a good home and having a great conveyance or mode of communication. And I think this book is actually highlighting a lot of factors about this, but I am actually interpreting it and explaining it in my own way. This book has actually a lot of contents, but I am actually reading it and then explaining it in my own way because I think this is my uniqueness about book reading. Like, it's not my own comprehension, it's exactly kind of interpretation. There is a difference. Now, if I say that this book has written that the girl's parents were interested in making their own home and they were very good in doing their business, then I will like to explain this chapter in my own way. That sometimes it happens that when you are a family, even if you are not quite well off, like you are not from a very wealthy background, but you would like to give your children all of that stuff that you lacked in your own time. That can be anything. That can be a car, a good car, it can be a good home, or it can be a good job, or it may be a good business. Because I think this is the dream of every parent, that to facilitate their children more than what they had at their own time. And this book is actually highlighting the fact that the girl's father was actually very good in public dealing in cars, but in second-hand cars. And I think second-hand stuff is not that bad. I believe that second-hand stuff should not be seen in a very bad way. Like, as a mother or as a father, if you pass something of your own as an inheritance to your children, then I don't know that why people like in today's world make it a very bad deal about it. Like, for example, if we talk about inheritance, then in inheritance basically a parent has made all of the stuff because of their own hard work, right? Like, they made it or they actually bought it from someone else. So I think everything in the universe, I'm talking about the fact that everything in the universe is actually kind of recycled. So why do we feel bad or why do we feel irritated when it comes to the fact of secondhand stuff? Like, it is just a fact that if we talk about that, there are two things. For example, a family is there, and when the children's parents die, as a Muslim, all of the inheritance means that now there is a difference. Like, there is a difference in giving a gift to someone, and there is a difference in giving anything materialistic to their children. That is called inheritance. Like, for example, if a person dies and he has 3 children, 2 daughters and 1 son and a wife. Now, as a Muslim, actually I want to explain all of this indirectly through this book, because these are the thoughts that are coming into my mind after reading this book, that the particular guy who is actually the father of that child, Matilda, he actually owned a business and he made a house. But I think I wanted to explain this and convey my thoughts while reading this book and indirectly relating to it. That, for example, if we talk about a Muslim family, and I think lots of people don't know this, that as a Muslim, if we have three children, this is just a tentative example. If we have three children and a family has three children and a single wife, and a single wife means that obviously as a unit person, means that as a Muslim, if the guy marries only one woman and has three children, then for example if he has two daughters and one son, then if we talk about the fact that at the time of his death there are certain rules that as a Muslim we follow. If I have a lot of materialistic stuff, then it is quite evident and important as a Muslim that it should be passed on timely to the children, because this is the rule of Quran, that everything that is materialistically available with you should be passed on to your children at the right time before your death. That is how they will be able to utilize the savings or good stuff, right? And if those children say that if we do not want any kind of share in your inheritance, and we want to make our own, we want to like struggle on our own, then that is also allowed, because that person does not want anything from their parents' legacy or materialistic stuff. They want everything from their, like they want everything to be made with their own hard work. That is also fine. But I think that if we talk about the blood relations first, like you have two daughters, X person has two daughters and one son and a wife, then first things first would be that you have a house and a car. Then how this distribution will be done, if we talk about we have a house and a car, and these two things have to be distributed among those children and the wife after the guy's death. And I think this factor is important, because as a Muslim, in the Quran it is mentioned that distribution of property is actually done through very equal percentages, not quantities. Like for example, if we say that if we have a house and it is irrespective of any square feet or square meters, if it is a house, then it has to be divided equally, actually, because in Quran thumb rules are given, not the exact thumb rules apply on every situation. Like for example, if you have a house of 10 canals, this is the Pakistani measurement system. If you have a 1 canal or a 10 canal house, so the best example would be if you are studying as a student, your teacher would say that let's start with the unitary examples, right? Because if you say that I have 10 chocolates, then how much chocolates would I have if I give it to 10 more people? And you say that how do we know that what is the single price of a single chocolate? So one of the most intelligent student or the smart student in the class would say that you have to actually first calculate the price of single chocolate, and then you have to multiply that price with that single chocolate weight, and then you have to calculate the exact amount that is going to be the exact price of that single chocolate. What I mean to say that unitary method has to be applied in life as well. Unitary method means now I think this concept might be a little confusing for the people who are actually learning in their initial stages or who are at their very beginning, because sometimes it happens that when you study science and mathematics, every student who has been a student of maths or mathematics has learned the unitary method. Even chemistry or physics, every science uses unitary method, even programming. But not the non-science students. They are like confusing things in real life. Now, as a mathematician, if we say that if we have a single thing that can be taken as a standard or a benchmark to actually measure something, like if you say that I have one chocolate and I have calculated its weight. So now, in order to calculate the price of 10 more chocolates, I think the common sense would be some people would actually sum up it 10 times, or some people would actually multiply, who are actually smart. They will actually multiply the price of one chocolate with the, you can say that, like for example, if the price of that chocolate is 280 rupees, then if I have to calculate the price of 10 chocolates, I will multiply 280 by 10. By means multiply, because that will be meaning that instead of just summing it up 10 times, because I want the price of 10 chocolates, I will just multiply the factor of 10 with the factor of 1 and then with the factor of 280. Why? Because 1 means it will be multiplied with 280 and it will be showing that this is actually one chocolate, and I will be multiplying 10, that will be meaning that 2800 will be the price of 10 chocolates. So this is the unitary method that actually works very well in the calculation of inheritance as well. Like if we say that if we have one boy and two daughters for an X person, then in order to calculate the fair share of their children in inheritance, Quran actually says that for example, if we have a guy, then I think first of all we need to understand that as a man, why Quran actually distributed these factors of 1:2. Like 1:2 means that now what are the ratios? Why the concepts of ratios? Ratios means that no entity or nothing on this planet can be equal, right? For example, if you have a person who has a lot of materialistic stuff, he can never be equal to a person who is poor, because they will have a difference, right? So ratio means difference. There is always a difference between a poor guy and a rich guy. There will be always a difference between a person who has good deeds and bad deeds. There will always be a person difference who will be having more good stuff and who will be having bad stuff. It means good deed, bad deeds, or materialistic stuff, less materialistic stuff, or even food. Some people have more food, some people have less food. So it means that nothing on this planet is actually equal. Yeah. For example, if we say that if we have to make a comparison, then we use this symbol of ratio, that is difference. We calculate the difference. Like nothing can be equal. Everything has a comparison, everything has a difference. That is how the beauty of the nature is all about. That is, there is a difference. For example, if we say that there is a winter season, then there is a summer season. Like both of these seasons are actually 180 degree apart. Now what is 180 degree? 180 degree means that, for example, if you are going towards north zone means at the hillside of the planet, or at a particular station, like you are going higher. Then if you are going downstairs, upstairs and downstairs can be also taken as the 180 degree apart example. That if you have a home and that home has 2 floors, then if you are going up, then means you are going in the upward direction, and someone is going down, then that particular person is going in the downward direction. So this concept, which actually means 180 degree, means it is an angle. It is an angle, which means that you have these angles in life as well. You can apply these examples of angles. Like you are looking at a situation with your own perspective, the other person is actually looking the situation at with their reference to their own perspective. Like some people would say that a guy has more responsibilities when he gets married, so he should be given more part of inheritance. So in some interfaith cultures, in interfaith religions, interfaith means that people who are actually Muslims, but they have divided themselves into certain groups, like secular groups, and they follow that same Quran, but they follow this also, the ratio of 1:2, and as a measure to divide the property. They are following this rule that one person should be actually given the more part and the other person should be given the double part. Like for example, if we say that like it means that in Quran we cannot say that one person is having more part and the other person is having lesser part. That's why I did not say that one person is having part and the other person is having more part. I'm just saying this. I'm not saying that one person is having part and the other person is having less part, because in Quran nothing is misbalanced, everything is balanced. Like in secular groups, people are following the same Quran, like Muslims when they were divided, but they were divided because of their religious cultural views, not specifically religious views. Like they did not divided the Quran, they just divided the principles in their own perspectives and narrations. For example, if we say that if we have 1:2 concept or 2:1, now there's a huge difference if we talk about 1:2 or 2:1. But if we see it through the lens or the perspective or the angle of the other person who is actually giving the concept, then you will realize that both of them are talking about the same stuff, but they are just giving their own explanations. Like for example, if I have a person or a random person has a daughter and a son, then how would the balance would be like, for example, if we have I have 3 chocolates, so all three of them are in their own packets. So what will be the exact distribution?